In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. We are still discussing chapter 2 of the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter of the cow. And we had discussed up till verse number 89. Verse number 90 reads as follows. بئس ما اشتروا به أنفسهم أن يكفروا بما أنزل الله بغيا أن ينزل الله من فضله على من يشاء من عباده فباءوا بغضب على غضب وللكافرين عذاب مهين. This translates to the following. Of course, this refers to the people of the book who rejected Allah's teachings and rejected his messengers that came after Moses, and even Moses himself. They disobeyed him repeatedly. They worshipped the calf. They broke several other commandments of Allah, as we have read before. So Allah comments on this and says about this that they have sold their souls for a wicked price by denying what God has revealed, grudging that God bestows His grace upon whom He chooses of His servants. So they have brought upon themselves wrath upon wrath, and the disbelievers will face a disgraceful torment. This shows that the reason behind all this rejection of the messengers that came basically from the coming of the Prophet Jesus, the son of Mary, and then the Prophet Muhammad. These are the two main messengers that they rejected. Of course, before that Allah mentioned that other messengers they attacked and they tried to kill or killed. But total rejection were these two messengers, Prophet Jesus and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them all. So Allah says the reason behind it, especially the Prophet Muhammad, the reason behind their denial of the Prophet Muhammad was not that his signs were not clear or that his message was not appealing or sensible, but because they had a grudge and envy in their hearts that how could this message be given to a people other than us, especially that this is the last and final and the most comprehensive message, which will have the biggest number of following. And it will basically annul all the previous revelations. So people because before that the revelations added to each other. Each prophet after Moses was only making some giving some new teachings on top of the teachings of Moses, or modifying a few things or clarifying a few things. But the coming of the Prophet Muhammad, Allah made it so as to basically be a nullifier for all the previous messages. You don't have to go back and read the previous messages to know anything about how to worship God. You just have to read. You have to read the Quran. وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ بِالْحَقِّ وَأَنزَلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ بِالْحَقِّ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَمُهَيْمِنًا عَلَيْهِ. Allah says that I have revealed this book to you, confirming the previous books before it, and muhayminan alayhi, acting as a judge, an arbiter over all the previous books. So if somebody follows the Prophet Muhammad, it will not harm him in the least not to know what's in the previous books at all, because it is complete. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا, which means today I have completed and perfected your religion. It's complete and perfect, does not need anything from outside it, does not need to borrow anything from outside it. Actually, adding anything from outside it would violate. Like if somebody were to apply some of the teachings that were abrogated from previous religions, apply them while being a Muslims, it will be a violation to the law of Allah, the Most High. But if it was amongst those laws that the Islam has confirmed, then that will be fine. So he says this is only due to grudge, and this has resulted in them, basically they have sold their souls for a wretched and wicked price. Because what have they attained except some petty gains in this life in the form of maintaining their status or ranks, or their followers, and so on. That's only for a short while they live this life. So it's very wretched compared to what they have lost of the pleasure of Allah, of following the true religion, of attaining eternal happiness. So this is a very poor bargain that and trade that they have made. So this is a very wretched price that they have bought, or they have sold their souls for. فَبَاءُوا بِغَضَبٍ عَلَى غَضَبٍ. They have attained wrath on top of wrath. This could mean that because they rejected the Prophet Jesus, then rejected Prophet Muhammad, so this is a wrath on top of another wrath. If you rejected the first prophet, then another prophet has come to you, and you still reject him, you don't learn the lesson. Or maybe they attained wrath upon wrath because they disobeyed their own messengers, and then they disobeyed the final messenger as well. So they attained wrath upon wrath, and for the disbelievers is a disgraceful torment. The following verse, we've gone for 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes, we'll go for 3 more minutes maybe. 91. وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا بما أنزل الله قالوا نؤمن بما أنزل علينا ويكفرون بما وراءه وهو الحق مصدقا لما معهم قل فلم تقتلون أنبياء الله من قبل إن كنتم مؤمنين. The meaning of this verse, it translates to, this is verse 91, and when they are told, believe in what God has revealed, they say, we believe in what was revealed to us, but they deny what came after it, even though it is the truth confirming the message they already had. Say, if you are believers, why did you kill God's prophets before? So here, the excuse they're making is that we already have a messenger, we already have a book, we already have an established religion, so we don't need to listen to any other prophet coming after that. We will believe. So they don't want to appear that they are just they openly deny Allah's commandments. They say, no, we are following Allah's commandments. So they're making that kind of excuse. We are already following our Prophet Moses. We are already on an established religion, but we will reject everything that comes after that. But then Allah shows here that the problem is that if they had firm belief in Allah's messages and have firm belief in Allah in the first place, they wouldn't have been actually violating their own laws and attacking their own, assaulting their own prophets. Allah says, so why did you then kill or attempt to kill previous prophets? If you claim that you are believers in these prophets, but then you try to kill them, the problem is that your belief in Allah, you don't have fear of Allah in your hearts, you don't really follow Allah's commandments, so no matter, so that excuse is not really accepted. And then even if somebody is on a religion, even if it was preserved, and even if it has not been changed, but then a new prophet comes, then you have no right to reject Allah's decision to send a new prophet with new commandments or any kind of changes that Allah makes. For instance, if you work for a certain establishment or a firm, and then they give you certain commandments to do today, you do them, and then tomorrow some more commandments. Then at one point you say, no, I've listened to you for the whole past year. I don't want to make any changes. I will just continue doing what I used to do for the past year. If they introduce a new system, for instance, you can't say, no, I'm not going to learn this new system, I'm just going to follow the old system. They'll just fire you. We do this in our daily life. If your father tells you to do this today, but then he says, oh no, go, he asks you to buy something, but then he says, no, I don't want this, go and take it back. You don't say, no, you've told me to buy it, I bought it, then I won't listen to any more of your commandments. So this is not really an excuse. Allah is to be obeyed no matter what He commands. So here Allah is saying that if you did not even actually believe in your own prophets, so don't make such a false excuse. Do not make such a false excuse. We'll stop here.